Hello, this is Jenny Davis, the Vice President of Marketing with Skillable, and I'm here with Omid, who's our Director of Product Development and Deployment. That's a nice mouthful of a title for Comtech and CyberStronger. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. We're going to talk about your labs published. So you lead a team of lab developers, but you also have 750 labs published under your name yourself. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure creating these. And with such ease, the more that your platform moves forward, the more tools that you give us, and it just makes life so much easier.
What are your go-to lab dev tools? What makes your life easier?
Well, lately you guys have been creating virtual machines that are already pre-made for us, like a Windows Server 2016 or a Windows 11 or 10. And instead of us having to do all that work to build the server from the ground up, you guys already have it pre-made and the licensing is already there, and it makes life so much easier for us. I mean, that's one of the real tools that I find very helpful, and it just cuts down dev time.
So let's talk about that 750. What kind of labs do you focus on?
So I mean, there's a lot of threats that are happening in the world, constantly, right? A lot of malware, and a lot of things that we do is we grab those different kinds of malware and we actually place them on different servers. We basically try to show how that malware would work inside of a group of computers and laptops with all different types of OSs on them, and essentially teach how to find it, and how to mitigate it, how to close the loop on it, and how to protect your network.
When you think about like new security threats, how long do you let something lie before you decide to make a lab about it to share with your learners?
Cybersecurity is such a fast-moving industry, and if you're not always trying to learn and trying to innovate, you're going to fall short and you're going to fall behind. So we're constantly creating new labs and trying to be in the bleeding edge of the training industry and cybersecurity. So we've done that over and over again, and we have team members who teach, but those team members also create labs to go along with their instruction. Creating a virtual environment that is exactly the same for all the students to be able to go into is a great advantage when teaching. And when the instructor has actually published those labs themselves, they know the ins and outs of it. So it becomes very valuable to the students and their learning process.
Do you do any shared lab scenarios?
We do. We do some capture the flag stuff. And we have a leaderboard.
Yeah. So shared labs can be something that a lot of customers talk about wanting to do it, but it can be tricky to implement. Do you have any tips for people who are looking at doing a shared labs environment with Skillable, and what could kind of set them up for success there?
Well, you guys offer a lot of quarterly classes. There's a lot of videos and a lot of documentation. And you also have training on being able to develop labs. These resources that you get thrown inside of a class, and you can go at your self-pace anytime, anywhere, from any location. These are the big things that I don't think that anybody else has as in-depth as you guys have. We got to take advantage of the resources you provide us, because it allows us to be very bleeding edge with our products. As soon as you have a new feature, we implement those items.
What advice would you have for somebody who's in a position like you and bringing their team along on that lab development journey as well?
Don't be afraid to fail, and give enough allowance for that to your team members. Let them try, tinker inside the development environment, and allow them to keep learning from their mistakes, and not so much put them on a certain timeline that you have to have something. Now, obviously, you don't say, okay, you got a year to develop one lab and you're going to make 1,000 mistakes, but you have to be very reasonable with your team, and you have to listen to them, and also give them the tools that they need to be able to be successful. Your job is to open roads for them, and just make sure that you allow them to fail, because that's a part of this whole training environment, to fail and to redo it and to learn and to get better.